Welcome back to another Elden Ring video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get the golden scarab. Now it is hidden away in a little cave here called the abandoned cave, and there's a very simple way to get to it from the smoldering wall, site of grace, which is where we are. Now if you were at the first step, this is the way that I would recommend that you take. Just go up to here and then take the path downwards and then go up towards this site of grace here at the third church of Marika, as you can use your mount and jump up the hill there to then get onto the road, and then you can go all the way down to right here, which is the smoldering wall. No worries if you don't have the map unlocked yet. Getting there is very simple and it won't take long to get there from the first site of grace. Now once you do arrive at the smoldering wall finally, you're going to want to point your camera towards this golden tree here to make sure you're going in the right direction, and or use another land marker as well. Now you're going to basically head straight down here. There's this ravine where the cave is hidden. You basically need to get onto a fallen tree here, which is just to the right. It'll be right beside this big rock. Step up and you can see the tree below, and basically you want to jump down to it and land on it from the side here, and you don't want to go down to the bottom. You don't want to continue to the left there. You want to continue on your right hand side, which will then continue to bring you into the cave right here. There is a site of grace inside, so you don't have to worry about coming back. I hope you didn't fall by the time you got here. It would be quite unfortunate. At least it's not very far of a travel. Now of course feel free to use your torch or your lantern if you have one. I have a lantern that I will turn on soon, but yeah, feel free to get this site of grace. Now there will be some enemies in the cave, but we're going to skip past all of them. Now before we get to the enemies though, there is some scarlet rot at the bottom here. What I would recommend is jumping in and then just pressing your B button. Orient yourself so you're facing backwards, and then just press your B so your character does that backwards jumping thing. That way you can get there before your health gets absolutely melted. Maybe consider healing as well. Now on your right there is an item you can pick up, but we're going to neglect it and go on the left. And what you can do basically is jump, and you can get there without getting touched by the scarlet rot. Now would be a great time to turn on your lantern. As you can see, it was pretty pitch black in there. Also something worth noting, like every other cave in Elden Ring, when you are inside, you are not able to fast travel. You will not be able to leave the cave until you either complete it or you exit. Now, if in the event you do choose to quit and you do exit, just what can happen is basically how your site of graces are X'd off with a red circle and a line in the middle, saying that you can't fast travel. If you just rest at the site of grace inside the cave and then exit the cave again, you'll be okay and it should go back to normal. Now, just make sure that you follow the pathways that I'm taking. Feel free to fight the enemies, but also feel free to just skip right past them. Now, once you get here, you're going to go right on up through this tunnel and then continue onwards. There is an item here that you can pick up at the expense of some rats, which when they're in a group, they're quite a handful, so definitely be careful and be wary of that. Now when you get to this room here, basically you want to go on the far right hand side, which is kind of hard to see and it's dark, but basically you make your way up, just jump on up and completely neglect the enemies, continue down the tunnel and run away from their attacks, as it's not worth wasting your time. It's better off to just get through here, and now you're at the boss fight. So now that you're at the boss fight, you have 2 enemies to deal with. I would recommend doing as much damage as you can to the first guy as possible. The spear guy seems to always play defense. I would recommend, especially if you're newer, summoning the Ash of War wolves to keep him distracted. That way you can hit him in the back. The second guy is a little more aggressive, and basically you can just dodge around his attacks. He's not too terrible. Sure, he throws a couple things at you, but if you were to get close and be in his personal space, I don't think that he would be able to handle it very well. Or if you're a mage build like me, just hit an attack when you see the opportunity. Try not to get greedy, as impatience will get you destroyed in Elden Ring. And then you should be just fine. Dodge and strike when you see the right opportunity. And when you do defeat this individual, he will drop the golden scarab, which is fantastic. And then when you put it in your talisman slot, you have a permanent 20% XP boost, or rune boost, I should say. With the boss now defeated, just like every other cave, there will be a little beam that will appear that will allow you to teleport out of the cave system so that you can get the heck out of here and not have to deal with any more nonsense. I was just patrolling around the room, seeing if there was any items, but there was not. So now we're going to go ahead and exit the cave, go back to the entrance, and then I will show you how to equip the talismans if you're not sure. You basically just need to open your menu and then go to your equipment tab. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward, but yeah, then you're out of the abandoned cave and everything's good to go. So basically go to your equipment tab and then go to your talismans. That's it. They're right there. If you don't have them on, put them on. Honestly, if you're not using at least one, you might as well. They all have their advantages. I would recommend you put them on. I hope this video was helpful. See you in the next one.